Hello, everybody. This is Murray Montgomery back with you on this November the 22nd edition of the Lavaca County News Reviews. I'm here with my partner, Hans.
Welcome back, everybody.
And we're going to give you just an outline of what's in these papers. And I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't start this off talking about our ex-publisher, Kristie Bludau. Now, I've known Kristie for a long time, and over 20 years. And she has been an outstanding general manager, and we're going to miss having her here, but we want to congratulate her and welcome her to all the endeavors that she's got in the future.
Yeah, she's certainly had a very large impact on the newspapers and on the Hallettsville and really the Lavaca County community as a whole over the past 2 decades. And she's switching industries. I'm sure she'll still be subscribing to the paper and listening to the podcast. So thank you very much, Kristie. And we look forward to introducing the interim publisher, Richard Stone, who's coming in. He has a quite the experience in newspapers and I guess several decades of publishing and editing as well. So we look forward to seeing what we can accomplish with him here.
Yeah, Richard has got a lot of experience. I knew him years ago when I worked at the Gonzales Enquirer, and he was kind of a consultant for that paper for a while. So he has tons of experience, but I don't look for anything to be any major changes. And we look forward to welcoming him here, and we'll do everything we can to help him out.
Exactly. And now, moving on from that, we have some awesome festivities to look forward to this Saturday for the Festival of Lights. Now, that's going to be, I believe, a 2-day event is what we saw last week, but that's they're officially going to light up the courthouse and the town square on Saturday.
Yeah, I read somewhere where they had added something for Sunday, but I haven't been able to find where I read that. So I'm sure that it must be true. So just keep your eyes open and wait for any update.
Yeah, and if nothing else, make sure to head out there Saturday. It's gonna be my first time going out there. I'll be there with a camera, so I look forward to seeing all the Christmas spirit here in Hallettsville.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful event, and folks usually really turn out for it. And I don't know exactly what the weather's supposed to be like, but I read somewhere where it was going to be 70 on Thanksgiving. So perhaps we'll have good weather for the Festival of Light.
Exactly. And also feeding off that holiday spirit, Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday. Our ace reporter, Jimmy Appelt, has some fun trivia that is in several of the newspapers. So for those who want to quiz their family members at the Thanksgiving table this year, there's a lot to work with there. And we have some heartwarming stories throughout the papers regarding the ways that different communities are celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Jimmy more or less wrote about the history of Thanksgiving. So, like Hans said, if you want to impress your family and your friends, read this story and you'll know so much more about Thanksgiving that you ever thought possible.
Yeah, it's never hurts to have that extra trivia knowledge. And a great event that I didn't get to go to this year, but I know it's something that would be fun and something I want to throw on my bucket list for the future. It's in Shiner. We had the beer run over the weekend. Have you ever made it out for the beer run, Murray?
No, Hans, I've never been to that, but I understand that it's pretty impressive and that a lot of people participate in it.
Yeah, this year, one of our very own reporters, our sports editor, Mark Luby, he actually ran in it and he got some good pictures. The online results reported that about 1,500 runners made their way through the cold and wet Saturday morning this weekend in Shiner, and they braved it to get some beer at the end. So, I might be more of a beer stand or a beer sit kind of guy, but it definitely appealed to a lot of people to go out there, and it looked like it was a huge success.
Yeah, and I think they have something else coming up too, don't they?
They do, yeah. So for all those people who did not get enough of their running for beer in, this next Saturday is actually going to be the Jingle Jog for Christmas at the brewery, and that's going to be on December 4th. So for those of you who want to run and enjoy some locally crafted beer, definitely make it out to December 4th.
Yeah, sounds like there's going to be some big times in Shiner this weekend. So check it out, friends. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
And additionally, now I'm going to move on to the Yoakum Herald Times here. We've got some really cool and I'd say some very neat news coming out of Yoakum. The Yoakum Economic Development Corporation, the YEDC, they approved a project to clean up a historically black cemetery that has almost been grown over completely, just past the dump there in Yoakum.
Yeah, Hans wrote this story, and it's about this cemetery, as he said. And what was interesting to me, being a history fanatic, is that the people buried there, some of them are from the Spanish American War, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, World War One, and World War Two. And it's really sad to see some of these cemeteries go into disrepair. You know, it's hard to believe that maybe there would be family members or people's descendants still alive, and maybe not. But anyway, it's sad to see them go into disrepair where they're not have upkeep.
Yeah, I actually went out there to try to find the cemetery, and I needed the help of our lead Yoakum correspondent, Nadine, to help me actually find it. She's been around the area for a long time, so she knew the one I was talking about. But even if you're standing right in front of it, you might not realize that it's a historic cemetery because, the gravestones are not even peeking out of the grass in some areas, and there's definitely a lot of vegetation that is overgrown in certain areas. But like I said, $5,000 was approved to help maintain this area, and there's an organization called the Yoakum Memorial Association, which is dedicated right now to cleaning up this cemetery. So maybe there'll be other cemeteries in the future, but specifically this one for now. And they don't even know, who all's in there yet. So some people they don't know if their ancestors are in there or not, but this is certainly a good cause to get behind.
Yeah, you bet. You know, that's something that it'd be very admirable for people to volunteer to just take your weed eater and go out there and help clean those places up. And we've got cemeteries like that all over the county and all over the state of Texas. So that would be a worthy cause to go and try to help out those cemeteries.
Yep, there's contact information in the article, so I recommend everybody check that out that's interested in reading more. And enough about celebrating and recognizing the death there. It's time to celebrate some life. At the bottom of the front page in the Molten Eagle, we have celebrating a century of life for Mrs. Tiny Wagner.
Yeah, they have a picture, as Hans said, there's a picture on the front page, and it's happy birthday, and it's like I said, we gave it a prominent place because for a lady that's 100 years old, she certainly deserves this recognition.
And in a town like Molten, where there's less than 1,000 people, if you live to be 100 years, then you definitely know everybody. It's the lifeline of the town.
That for sure. She probably could tell us some stories, and people they need to really, they need to interview people that are older because it's like a walking history book, friends. And once they're gone, that's gone with them. So congratulations to her, and I hope she has many, many more birthdays.
And now moving on to some more things to celebrate, we can head into the local sports for this week. Starting with a big congratulations to volleyball players from around the county that are being named all district and recognized for their achievements academically as well as on the volleyball court.
Yeah, that's most all schools in our county have got these young people that have got these awards, and they're to be congratulated. And while I'm at it, I would like to say congratulations to our football teams that didn't make it out of the playoffs, and their hard work got them where they are. And like I said before, they'll do nothing but improve, and we'll be looking forward to their action next year.
Certainly. And while they are not in the district in the playoffs anymore, there are plenty of local teams to continue cheering on. For example, we have the Shiner Comanches. They have the best band in the district in their division. We figured out this year as they came back from state with a gold medal, and now also the football team is trying to take home that same title.
Yeah, Shiner's definitely alive in the playoffs, and I don't know, but I would predict that they will go a long way if they keep playing the way they're playing right now. And they beat Mason 47-21 in an area round game, and now they'll be moving on. Also, while we're on Shiner, the St. Paul Cardinals beat the Eagles in Giddings. It was, let's see, Tomball. Tomball Rose Hill Christian. St. Paul defeated them 52-13 Saturday afternoon at Buffalo Stadium in Giddings in the TAPS 4 regional round.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good football to be watching right now in Shiner. And as you know, as the rest of Lavaca County football teams are now out of the playoffs, it's definitely admirable to cheer on our neighbors as they make a run for the title. And yeah, speaking of getting out of the playoffs, we have a finish of the season for the Sacred Heart Indians over the weekend.
Yeah, Sacred Heart was defeated by Brazos Christians, and this happened. They were playing in Elgin, and the Brazos Christian came out on top 45-30. But I'd be willing to bet that score doesn't really show how close that game was. And Sacred Heart is to be congratulated on their season. They played hard and they did well, and we look forward to seeing them next year.
Yeah, and that's all the sports that we're going to cover in detail this week in the podcast. But if you have interest in reading about all the basketball games happening and as well as the other sports updates, we recommend you check out our website, lavacacountytoday.com, or simply pick up one of the newspapers or all of the newspapers that should be at the newsstands near you.
Yeah, that's something that we need to look forward to. Thursday, we're going to be having Thanksgiving. I hope you can all be with your families. And Hans, what do you got planned for Thanksgiving?
Well, this Thanksgiving, I've been lucky, and I just contribute the green bean casserole each year. It's always a hit. It's super easy, and it's something that I like to enjoy myself. So it's a win-win. Do you like to contribute something every year?
No, I don't contribute a whole lot, but my wife certainly does. And we'll be going to Seguin, and all of my daughters live in that area. And my youngest kid, she cooks an outstanding turkey. So I'll be looking forward to that. And I want to wish all of you, all of our readers, all of our listeners, and thank you so much for supporting us. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you all are able to be with your loved ones. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye and turn it over to Hans, and we'll be talking to you next week.
Yeah, thanks for reading, thanks for listening, and we look forward to hearing everybody again next week for another Lavaca County News Review.